Yo, Kyle. What's happening? Is it raining over there? Are y'all done? Hello. Second. Johnny, what's good on the road? Team Go Fish? I've caught a lot of logs. Normally, Morgan, I'm disappointed. I was waiting for you to make a log cranking your hog joke, but you passed. You passed the opportunity. Done for now. Give it a day or be back. Hey, Brendan. The old fishing log. Yeah, a couple of buddies of mine, they used to keep them, or I didn't know it at the time, but like talking to them later on in life, they're like, dude, I used to write everything down. Talking to Eric a couple days ago, he kept a log. He still got his. Wonder if that's a thing people do anymore. Um, Jeremy, I did the same thing. I used to post pictures on Facebook mainly to remember. Like when I would see the picture, I would remember how I caught them. I wouldn't have to write it down. I would just need to know when the fish was caught. That's the part that would get a little sketchy. But Facebook was my log for the longest time. Log is in a notebook with catch info. Hey, David. You just keep a log until you realized you'd remember it. Not bad. You don't have winners, probably not a problem. Nah. Travis, do you have a log? Um, I never kept a log because I thought I could remember it all. Hella, same. Now I go back and I look at pictures and I'm like, where was that? Or what did I catch that fish on? Um, I know, Kyle. That's scary. MySpace was the shit. Tom let us all down though. Tom let us down, but I like hella thought I had a bulletproof memory. Turns out not so bulletproof. Now all you need is live poke. You don't have to have a memory because it doesn't matter what you did in the past. You just go out there and throw shit at fish you see. Thought Tom was my friend, but I guess he wasn't. No, he got us. He got us. For those of you who missed on the mistakes, I'm doing more because I had so much fun painting them. And also, these are a little more. I had to paint them anyway for a guy on some 1.5s, and I went over here to the wall. I said, let me look. Let me look and see what Bandit Mistake actually looks like. So I went and looked at it, and the red on the side is not very red. Like it's red, but it's almost pink on the one I have. And it's like, huh. I don't think it matters, but I was like in my mind, I always thought it was like red, but it's not exactly red. It's more pink. So these are more. I made it more like the original Bandit one, and the mistake I have is probably one of the earlier Bandits. So it's what the old timers would have had. TK deletes things out of our carts. I wish I could. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Painting more Bagleys. Yep. I gotta work through my stash. I got another one coming. I got another one coming. All right. Paid puppeteering. Morgan, I did. I like them. They're fun to paint. They haven't done anything weird. Like, knock on wood, haven't had any like paint bubble or anything like that. Hella, you've cracked the code. So I removed everything out of everybody's cart to create an artificial scarcity. And now I will be reselling the baits I removed from your cart to make it look as if I am re-upping the quantities, when in fact, I'm still selling the same baits, except I only painted 4 to begin with. Dude, my first big M bait in December was only because CA posted someone's payment failed, so I sniped. Yep. That was, I think somebody got a little trigger happy and bought the wrong bait, or they bought 2 or something. I don't remember what happened, but there was a glitch in the matrix. Faith First, how are you? Hello, Brian. Hello, B. Just dotting eyes, bro. Just enjoying a little Monday afternoon eye dotting. I need to reach out to Mr. Short and see if he's got his service up there at Ouachita. No, these are all getting triple dots. I enjoyed the way those looked. So these are getting triple dotted. I think. Well, there was some I wasn't going to triple dot because I didn't really need it. But I guess they're all getting triple dotted now from what it looks like. No, they're not all mistakes. I'll show you once I get these dots on and drying. Did a color called Hall Special. Can't really. It's got like a. It's hard to see that color in this light, but it's got a like a bluey green scale over like a root berry kind of green with a lime green little highlight stripe down the side. Um, yeah, this one's way too normal. This one is way too more normal. So hungover today, I painted the wrongs. Yeah, I would like to know the real, like the story from the painter. Like, how much booze did you drink, or what happened? Quit gushing. You're only adding scarcity. Don't say you want this, because then when they go up, people are gonna go right to that one, and I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna have to remove it immediately and adjust the quantity on the website to -1. To -1. I was doing demon and a speed trap. Got a purple belly. Oh, you're not talking of it as if you were the mistake person. You're talking as if you are really, you did that in real life. You actually are that hungover, and you indeed did dot, or you did paint the belly wrong. I did a real mistake. Oh, how about that? I too have painted the bellies instead of the backs, but not today. Mistake really is a badass color. So I did one for the experimental guys out there. For the guys that like to get weird and try new things. So, you know what, Bobby? I did do some skunks, and they were done. And you know what I decided? To unskunk them. So, I was thinking about skunk, and guys that like it, why it's good, blah 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 blah. And if you really wanted to like expand deeper into throwing like black crankbaits, there's nothing really to choose from. So nobody really, like, it's kind of like an untapped resource of like, or it's like the Wild West of what the potential is, because nobody's ever done it. You've pretty much just been left with a brown skunk. I mean a skunk, and then the brown orange belly, black back Bagley. But besides that, not a whole lot. So I said, what is a badass color in regular crankbaits, standard white issued baits, chartreuse, blue. Well, we did basically the skunk, but instead of the white, it's all chartreuse and blue. So I think if you're fishing some, if you need some visibility, that's it. That's the one. So that's my oddball that I did for myself. There's standard issue simple crawl. My juice, did a few more of those just because I felt like painting it to keep it sharp on my brain. Then some mistakes and some other stuff. That one's pretty cool though. That one was pretty cool. So I'll only did a few though, and that's the way it usually goes. I'll have to remove those from some people's carts. But y'all remember I showed you the stupid little Cordell, the Cordell Super Shad. Well, I brought the Super Shad from 1983 back to the future with an actual decent looking paint job. So we put a blade on it. Looks very fishy. No, Team No Fish, no. The color you have to hide is called the scales. But I think this is going to be a badass little forward-facing bait. Put a blade on it, little willow. Drop it down to some unsuspecting fish. Silent. Well, I saw him, Jeremy. I was thinking, like, you see all these baits, and from the old days, and I don't think a lot of people knew what to do with them then, like the Super George, this thing. There was a bunch of baits that were perfect for forward-facing stuff, but you didn't have that back in 1988. So there's probably a lot more of these kind of baits that would be good for dropping on fish. The other good thing about this bait is that it's got lead in the eyes. Has anyone sent me a Craig? No, not yet. We have to wait for the Japanese to copy old lures. Yes, they'll copy this one, and then everybody will start cranking their hog rapidly, and get a giant backlash. I think the old tail style spin baits would play now. That's a bait I don't like to talk about, Jeremy. I'll just pretend I didn't read that comment. Yes, back to Japan. I'm sure they'll do something. Speaking of Japan, AJ, you'll like this. I took this old ancient piece and made it into the future, as if Megabass made this lure, which is pretty funny. I got great amusement out of putting a Mega Bassy paint job on this little relic. Um, so I'll put a matte paint job or a matte clear coat on this and see how good it looks. Try the new Strike King Gravel Dog. Not for me. No, I don't have any need for a gravel dog. I think I have enough stuff that do gravel dog stuff. I think. I don't know. It depends on how good they are. I won't rush out and buy one though. Gravel dog packaging sucks. What's wrong with it? Just stick with the middle end. Yeah, the middle end is good enough. Or I would say good enough. It's better than a lot of stuff. Um, so many wart style baits. Yeah, there's a lot. But I don't. The thing about it is, like, the speaking of the middle end, like, I don't think, to me, I never realized it, but I know there's a lot of guys that substitute a middle end for times they would use a wart. In my whole life, I never threw a middle end thinking wart substitute. Like, I never put two and two together that somebody would like throw that instead of a wiggle wart. But apparently they do. Let's see size comparison. Where's a wiggle wart? There's one. There's a middle end. There's one. Let's see. So the Norman is a smidge narrower. I mean, longer, not as fat. Bill a little deeper, not as wide. Curved bill, pretty flat. So, I'll take the middle end any day, though. Main reason I think the middle end comes through trees better. OG Normans and warts have similar sound to their old butyrate. Maybe. Frank talked about the middle end in place for wart. I'd fish the middle end in place for wart any day of the week. I love the middle end. Love the middle end. I think the thing about middle ends and Normans in general is that I just think people aren't into them. Unless you crank a lot and you like go through a bunch of baits and like you're like into cranking a ton and you go through all the wormholes and I think Norman kind of gets shit on a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe they've had a reputation of being cheap. I don't know. I don't know why aren't Normans popular? Like, why is the middle end not popular? Their marketing sucks. I mean, besides Frank, before Frank the Tank, who was out there pumping Norman baits? Anybody? Did they have anybody that was like, oh, I'll tell you who used to pump them? That dude, Japanese dudes, yeah, pretty much. They know. I'm trying to think. Larry Lazoan. He had glasses and a little mustache. He was an older guy, like in the 90s. He used to always be in Bassmaster holding up like a 12-pounder in Florida with like a deep, tiny end hung out of his mouth. I remember seeing that and was like, damn. Yeah, Bobby Balsa. I remember hearing Ike saying one of the best cold water crankbaits ever made was a deep little end, and he's correct. But how many people have you heard say that, like in a public forum, like pro besides Ike, like pro or like YouTube guru, that hey man, I'm getting ready to go fishing. I'm tying on my deep little end. Nobody. Nobody. Deep end's badass bait. I mean, that's another bait that I just think people just get away from. I think companies like Strike King, like their marketing is so good, they just swamp. Like they make you forget about all that other shit and like just think it's worthless unless you're throwing a 5XD. Um, but I don't know, or a Series 5 or 4 or whatever, 3XD. It's wild though that they can like make a bait company disappear. If you think about it. I'm trying to think what else. I did do some. Speaking of old Normans, it's a big end. This one I'll probably have to keep because the knocker is jammed up. There's the butyrate sound you like to hear, Johnny. Good old butyrate. Big N is legit, but that is another one. No love. The ends of the juice, no one talks about them like they don't talk about Marty's baits. Pretty much. Tim, you got a bunch of Frankensteins over there. Jeremy wants the silent one, but I can't guarantee it's silent because I was banging it around on the table and it started knocking. So I don't know what it's going to do. I have quite a few big ends with the knocker stuck. They run any different? I wouldn't think so. Middle end still in the package. Open them up and go fish them. Everything has a rattle now. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I tend to lean towards silent stuff until y'all make me get Burns to put rattles and things. But see how my eyes are doing. Drying slowly. Yeah, you don't see. Has Norman ever made a silent and rattling bait? I know they made suspending baits back in the day. I don't recall them ever making a silent and a rattling version. The tiny end, the DD22, they offered in silent. wonder if they offered the deep little in silent, or was just a 22. Bobby, I have no history with the deep tiny in. It was always a little too small for me, although that was Rick Clunn's juice. Even Rick Clunn hawking it, talking about all his tournament wins on it and saving his ass with the deep tiny in was not enough for me to look past its minuscule size and load my tackle box with them. I opted for the one size up deep baby in to get me out of pinches, and I don't like talking about that bait either. Travis, you can. I don't want to hit that one because it hasn't been cleared, but before I painted it, I beat it on the desk and it came loose, but then it stuck again, so it might rattle sometimes. You might could beat it on the deck of the boat and then throw it and it'd rattle a little bit and stick. And I think it's probably going to be a sticker. It's probably going to be a it's going to live its life silent. But the only issue I had with I feel like the baby ends ran truer than my middle ends. I feel like I had to tune my middle ends more than my baby ends. That might have been what kind of got me away from throwing a middle end. Actually, I know it was because I bought like 3 in this color that I thought was going to be the juice. That was like a stock Norman color. And I like every couple casts I would have to retune it. And I tried another one, I had to retune it, and it just got like so annoying having to like constantly tune that bait that I just kind of got turned off and never went back. I'm really reluctant to talk Norman. Travis, I didn't talk about Normans until like this year on here, and it's only like 15 of us, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, like the real issue that I have with these old shitty Normans is that I went like used to. I could get on eBay and I could scoop up baby ends and little ends and middle ends, especially for crumbs, dude. Crumbs. Like you could get on those like penny auctions and get them for like $1, $2, and then you buy enough of them and get like combined shipping, and you're not, you're paying $2 a bait. And now those same shitty baits guys are trying to like sell you a beat up one for like $10 plus 5 shipping. Like I'm not paying $15 for a broke dick middle end. That's the other thing. You don't know what generation they were. Fat Free Shad popped my cherry back in the day when I first learned to fish lakes. I caught fish on a Fat Free, and they really liked it at Kentucky Lake, but I never did great on it down here. It wasn't my favorite. I caught a fair amount of fish on it, but it was down the totem pole for me as far as I know guys like the middle size, like the like the fingerlings. I really couldn't get bit on those. I could get bit on the 7, the big one, the guppy, yeah, all those. I never could get bit on those. I don't know what it was. Had to quit throwing them about 3 and 2 and 10, so I was done at that point. Jeremy, you must have been buying them the same time I was, and it must have been like a production thing at that time, and they just had a really shitty batch of baits that wouldn't tune. Not sure what plastic bait you. Yeah, what that would be interesting. It's not a 1-. Or spook. What's your go-to mid depth crankbait? RC, probably got the most RCs. Kyle, that's a good thing to have lots of. I'm trying to think, what single model bait do I have the most of? That's plastic. Oh yeah, I forgot, Travis. I forgot you like those. I think Normans were the worst out of the package to tune, probably. If they would have beefed up their line tie like a smidgen, it would have probably helped. But their line ties were terrible, especially on the middle ends. They were really, really small. Strike King Flat Shad. Plastic baits I singularly have the most of. It's probably either Bandits or RCs. I have more 100 and 200 bandits than most humans, but not as many as some. Kyle, are you asking if I have any 2.0s? I've got some. My favorite 2.0 is a Frankenstein 2.0 that I broke the bill out of. It was a cracked 2.0, and I used to catch the shit out of fish on it. And I broke the bill. I hit a dock and broke the bill, and I cut a lip slot and put a circuit board lip in it, and it still runs great. It's right there. It's got a crack in it though. It's got a crack on this right there. I'm still slinging around. It was just getting broke in. Steve, what's up? Does anyone like a BDS 2.2? I think I would, AJ, if I could. I like the idea of them. If I could get my hands on some, like if I could see one in a store, I would probably indulge. But just looking at it online, like the 1.2s even interest me. But there's like so many weird Lucky Crafts I'd like to see in person. Yeah, this is definitely getting broken. Dude, I saw new mini cranks, the 0.3. Didn't Marty Stone have a 1.2 or something? There's a few little weird BDS models that I'd like to have my hands on. It had its days. Done with hunting, time to rip on some bass or whatever you fish for. The BDS 2.2. Has anybody thrown the regular? Didn't they reissue the BDS? I don't use this clip, Steve. Travis likes to keep his lures. We need a public database to alert folks of when baits. Johnny, there's signs, I think, sometimes. Typically blowout pricing. They were re-released. Are they decent? I'm sure that obviously they're not Pro Tune level, but Marty Stone, yeah. I never bought any Marty Stone baits. You know why? Because I heard so many stories about Marty Stone being a prick. I didn't want to buy his lure, no matter how good. Or Joe Thomas. Closeout sales, yeah. Yeah. They can bite you sometimes. Uh, uh, Here's a son. Buy up Ike's ink colors and keep them in the packaging. Mardi Gras, Bruise, and Penguin already gone places I looked. Uh-oh. Yeah, Ike's gone from Rapala. So all his custom ink colors, they would either roll over, which I'm sure I don't know how, I'm sure his contract says that what, when he's gone, his colors are gone. And that'll be interesting, I guess. So, yeah. He had that. What do you have? Old school, or is that one already gone? Are those the only three? How many colors did he have? He's going to have 8 to 12 colors of his new bait. Builder Dude's home. It's about time for me to go home. I was hoping my eyes would be dry so I could put the inner circle in them, but Demon is an eye color. Ouch. AJ, what's going to happen there? Is that why you're trying to dial in Demon to perfection so when it's gone, you can say, here I am. I am the demon. I'm the demon guy. Demon is an eye color. Wow. Their number one seller, I'm assuming. What's going to happen? Are they going to get rid of it? Like, is it going to be gone? That's hard to believe. Shopping for a DT6 and not being able to buy a Demon DT6? Name's great. Color's great. It's got a pedigree. It's got tournament wins. It's got a classic win behind it. That's a tough one to lose, dude. Rapala owns all those colors. I mean, kinda. Kind of. I mean, who does Rapala have now? Is that going to be like Jacob's Devil? Is Demon going to come out and be like DC's Goblin? The color will remain, but the SKU will be changed. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of demons to cycle out. I guess they don't care. So I wonder if Ike gets paid by the demon sold, and if so, he will have to wait for every demon in production with that SKU to get sold, and will continue to get paid. Used to stockpile them every time I bought stuff in case they discontinued. Now I don't even know where the bag of demons is. Ouch. The ice fisherman. Michigan is the deal. We haven't really had safe ice for 2 years. Oh, wow. Buy stock now, then make a video from a painter how the new one is different. Yeah, here's why the new Demon Color sucks and how I've cracked the code on how to paint it. Someone has them 20% off unless the Ike color is separate still. It's Omni or Article Warehouse. I only used to hoard one color. And it wasn't really because, it was mainly because of the hooks. That was the only one I used to hoard. I used to do like Morgan. I would just, every time I'd go like in Academy or somewhere, I'd just like grab 2 of them just because. And then I was like, oh, I've got enough. And then I looked like not too long ago. I was like, damn, I didn't have nearly as many as I thought I did. I don't have nearly as many as I thought I did. I had to re-up my patch today because the baby, I was holding her, and the whole time I was holding her, she was digging her fingernail under my patch and scratching it off. And she eventually, after like holding her to put her down, she had I went to lay her down and she like grabbed it and like ripped half my patch off. Let me check these. Still wet. Stupid triple dotted eyes. The hooks on that 3PR 3.0 are 0.3 are very small. I've upgraded the hooks on a few. JP, what hook would you use, or what hook is sold? Like, what's the smallest treble hook you'll use for bass fishing? Like a 10, 8? Like who? Like I don't even know where I guess you buy them online, but like surely you don't find like number 8 or 10 treble hooks for putting on little bitty crankbaits in stores, do you? Probably like me, Morgan. You just slowly. The problem with my Sure Set, whatever they were, these golden shiners, was I think I started going through them because a lot of them sank. My best one sank. It still sinks. I've still got it though, and I've caught a bazillion 3+ pound spots on it. Like it seems like that was the only thing that would eat it. AJ, are you still there? I was gonna do a video. I was gonna do a video for you, and it was just it was gonna be an unboxing of 1.5s I got from Horseshoe Tackle, and I was gonna show off my horseshoe order, and I was gonna show off my AJ's new Ghost Perch. Got that one in, and then I got a Ghost Neon Gill from Horseshoe. That one's sweet. And then he's doing this new Ghost Nebraska Crawl. This is the 2.0 version. Got that one in, and then I did the Ghost Chernobyl. These are all new for the spring this year. Oh, Oh, I forgot about his new his new juvenile gill. I forgot about that one. There you go. AJ is getting so ghosty that he's evolving to perfectly clear baits. That is the evolution of horseshoe. Is that he's getting so deep, his baits are eventually going to look like this. And I completely understand AJ because I went through that phase where it wasn't ghost. It was just like eventually all my baits were like slowly becoming just white. So it's like this is where I'm going. I'm regressing to the point where like there's just not going to be no paint or no color, just white. Uh, Phantom translucent ghost. Invisicrawl. Shed Daddy. I am a bass fisherman. I used to throw when I was in Texas. I threw a translucent Sammy, and I don't think I've ever missed as many fish on a topwater as I missed on that damn thing. The Ultra Painter. Uh, AJ's going to be the guy that just sticks eyeballs in the baits and sells them on eBay for $15. And all the other idiot painters are going to look at him selling all these clear baits and think, why am I painting these? Why am I painting these? That's a true story though. That it happened to me. I was getting outsold as well as every other painter by this one clever painter that decided he was just going to take clear crankbait, and he wasn't even using good ones. He was using shitty ones, and he would put eyes in them, and he would clear coat them and put hooks and rings on them, and he would sell them for like $10. And I remember he had like a buy it now auction, and it's like, hurry up and get this one. It's the last one, or there's only two left. And I was like, how many is this guy sold? It's like 39 sold. And I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm sitting here trying to like paint all this fancy shit. And this guy's just sticking eyes on clear baits and putting hooks on them and calling them good and selling for $10. I don't think that's sustainable. I don't know if he's still on eBay. He probably is. He's probably sitting in his vacation condo on the down at the beach off his clear crankbait sales. Let's see. But that was another learning point in my career where I learned that a little something about sales. We did that. We did that. There's one up here somewhere. This one. AJ AJ is definitely cranking his hog. Seeing those. Um, these catch fish exceptionally well. The I like that one in the fall. when the bait gets small, I think because it's clear, they can't really tell how big it is, but it slips by as being small. I don't know. Have a clear bait I need to send me a picture of. Please do. I love seeing weird stuff from around the globe. Which one? Which one? The chartreuse one? The clear chartreusey? That's a good one. I didn't catch them as good on this one, the chartreuse one, as I did the regular clear one, but I haven't put in as much time with this one. Caught fish on it, but not as big as this one. Guess the old boy selling coated blanks was onto something. Yeah. Yep. A little heavy on the pigment. Yeah, I did go really that dot and that gill is totally obnoxious. Ooh, Morgan showed. He's got pictures at work of the juice. Morgan, that reminds me of where is my I don't see it up there, but I've got ones that you would probably enjoy. Translucent pre-Rapallo wiggle warts are selling for big money right now. Like translucent crawls. Are we talking about little hooks? JP, did you talk about little hooks? Anybody say what maybe says 10? I believe I upgraded the hook on the 0.3 to a Gamakatsu 12 round bend. Wow, that's small. That is small. All right, well, I guess my paint's not going to dry, so I'm going to have to get out of here. Dude's buying them up for the classic. You know, Morgan, I used to, when things like that would happen, when I would see shifts like that on eBay, because I would always watch like what was selling, like the sold, they call them comps now, the completed listing. I would always like every day I would check what sold on eBay, and anytime you would see like a certain, you would see the DT start to move, you would see the warts start to move, you would see all that kind of shift of like guys wanting to buy that shit, and I would, accommodate them. And when there was, you could always see like lipless baits, like all that kind of certain shit early in the year when, and especially during the classic or like when there was like a big tournament coming up, you could tell that stuff was moving. And I always wanted to sell something to like a pro getting ready for the classic, shopping on eBay. Never did. Never had some random pro buy something from me on eBay. How do you check what's sold on eBay? If you go to the filter and then you go down to sold and completed listings, click the check and click search, and it'll bring up everything that's sold. I still look just to see what like sells in custom painting crankbaits, and it's pretty embarrassing. Let's look. Custom painted. We'll look. I'll show y'all the most recently sold custom painted crankbait. Sold completed. Ended recently. All right. These are all musky baits. There's, I'm looking for like a regular bass bait. This guy sold his. Why don't let me pull it up? He deleted the listing. It's the original listing. It won't even show me the listing. It was 6 custom painted 1.5 square bills for $30. 6. And they're not terrible looking. I don't know if y'all are. I'm pretty bad at math, but 6 into 30 isn't a lot. What is this? I can't see any of these damn things, dude. Every time I click on the original listing, it disappears. There's a all white coffin lip plastic bait that sold for $9. There's a DT10. Pretty weak. Pretty weak. Oh, there's a photo finished one. $9. There's a super bug. $3. That's 5 a piece. Yeah, that's not so good. But that's nothing new. There's been guys trying to compete with China since the beginning of time. So that is if you would have gotten on eBay and checked the sold listings 12 years ago, there was probably shitty painters selling baits for $5 back then. Yeah, it was $30 plus $4 shipping for all 6 baits. But anyway, all right, dudes, good talking to y'all. Thanks for stopping by. We'll do it again. Maybe I'll get these I's dotted at some point this week and be able to throw some clear coat on them. So we'll be in touch. Talk to you later. Adios. Have a good rest of your week.